Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us on Mix It Up. Today we are making fermented hot sauce. Okay, not be going out and buying it like the rest of the chumps. You can make it yourself, and you can do a nice little cool label if you wanted to. I'm not going to teach you how to do that because I don't know how to do that. But I do know how to make it. So we're going to make hot sauce today. I'm going to talk you through what you're going to need to make it. We have some ingredients over here, and I'm going to show you that right now. It's not intimidating at all. Like, the best thing about this recipe is it involves a lot of sitting around and not doing anything, which is my favorite kind of recipe. It involves a lot of, oh yeah, we could do that, and then we'll do that, and then it'll be ready in a week, and you don't even worry about it, okay? It's like, there's no boiling, there's no steam, there's no frying stuff. It's barely cooking. It's not even. Is it cooking? Is it cooking? Is a salad cooking? You tell me. Is fermenting cooking? I'm not sure. We're going to find out. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to need to make the hot sauce. So over here, I'll bring them over. We got this lovely bowl of red chilies. The packet told me do not handle without gloves. And we are going to be gloving up for this because you're going to be working with a lot of chilies. 1 chili, 2 chilies, not a big deal. But if you're cutting a lot of chilies, yeah, you absolutely need to wear gloves. You know, not a big fan of single-use plastic. Who is? But you have to glove up for this one. Use rubber gloves if you have them. I don't have rubber gloves because I'm not, like, you know, in my 40s. Also, not wearing rubber gloves like builds character. You know what I mean? It's a character building. Bare hands build character. So, chilies, done. Salt. Saksa. Table salt is what you need for this. You know, if I get comments, oh, can you use mold and stuff? Can you use kosher stuff? I don't know. I'm using table salt. Use table salt. It needs to be 4% salt. So, whatever. Something cheap. Keep it cheap. Table salt is cheap. That's what we want. We're cheap people. We're cheap. Grand. Okay, so now we're over at our board. First of all, we got our nice little board set up. Things you need to properly set up a board. Forget about this. Okay, first of all, something wet under the board. So the board is not going to slide around. Okay, we're not going to injure ourselves. We want everyone to go home happy or stay home happy. You know, don't injure yourself. Board is not going to go anywhere, okay? Then we got our chilies here. Boom. These are just red chilies, Moroccan red chilies. Use whatever kind of chilies you want. You can use jalapenos if you want, bird's eye. Like, the hotter the chili, staying the obvious here, the hotter the chili, the hotter the hot sauce is going to be. Habaneros, whatever. Blow your friends' heads off. I like a hot sauce that's more like, adds a little kick. It's a seasoning. It's not like, oh yeah, you know, all my mates, and let's get a little hot sauce. No, okay, that's not fun. That's not fun. Pain isn't fun. I don't like pain. I don't like feeling pain. I like pleasure. And this hot sauce is going to bring a lot of pleasure, not a lot of pain. So, we're going to glove up here, right? Here we go. So, all you got to do is really, you're just going to cut the tips off this. Just like that. And then you're just going to cut these in half, okay? This is all going to get blitzed. It's obviously hot sauce. So we're not going to worry about this guy fell overboard. We're not going to worry about getting these like a fine dice or anything. We're literally just going to cut them in half. We just want to increase the surface area for this bad boy. If you wanted to, you could even break them in half. You don't have to cut them. You can do that. You can just tear them. You don't have to cut them. But you got to take the green part off anyway. So I mean, you might as well. It's like 1 cuts is to 2. It's, you know, much of a muchness. And then what you want to do with the chilies once they've been cut is get a big plastic container, something like this. A bucket would be fine. Anything plastic, as long as it's not metal. If you had like a ceramic, you know, fermenting crock, that would be great. We actually do have one, but it's way too big for something like this. You need to be making like, you know, 5 kilos of chili sauce. Chili's hot sauce, like 5 kilos of hot sauce. So we're not going to do that today. So we're just going to use this like plastic container, okay? So basically what you're going to want to do is just cut all your chilies, get them in here. And when they're all in here, then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so all of our chilies, Exhibit A, they've all been torn / chopped. I kind of went the tearing route in the end because it's actually a little bit faster. Now what you're going to want to do is, which I'm not going to do because I've done this a million times, so I know how it should be and I know how it should look. But if you haven't done this, do as I say, not as I do, okay? So you're going to weigh these and you're going to take 4% of their weight. And that's how much salt you're going to add. Now, I've made this hot sauce literally hundreds of times, so I don't need to do that. So what I'm going to do is just put a bit in my hand And just kind of a bit like that. Yeah, roughly. So basically, the way it should be like fizzy cola bottles in terms of, well, fizzy cola bottles, but maybe if like the quality of the cola bottle wasn't that good and there wasn't that much kind of soury sugar stuff on the outside, but that kind of buzz, you know what I mean? It should be like, you should be able to see bits of salt on them, not like a crazy amount, but you should be able to see bits of salt on them. And you can see we're already, the air is actually hot. Like you can taste it spicy in the air, in a nice way though. Already they're gonna start breaking down a little bit. They're gonna start sweating a little bit, and you just want to work them up, get them all worked up to get the kind of initial fermentation process going. Just kind of work them up a little, break them up, get them, you know, all nice and salty, and the air is very spicy. Okay, cool. So now we can deglove. In case you're wondering whatever happened to the little green guys, they're still here. To be honest with you, not a whole lot of use for these. If someone has found a good use of these, let me know in the comments. Get in touch, because these guys always go in the bin, unfortunately. They're not even good for stock. So let me know if you know what these guys could be used for. That would be useful, and I'll try it in another video. So we just want to get a lid for this guy. Okay, so we're just going to get this guy covered with a lid. Don't have it on tight, because it is going to be fermenting a little bit. So just like, you know, kind of placed. And you just want to put him out of the way in a, you know, cool, dry place, kind of room temp. He's not going to be disturbed. And you're going to leave him for 24 hours. So I will meet you back here tomorrow. This guy would have been resting for 24 hours. I would love to rest for 24 hours. That would be great. This guy's going to take a day off, okay? It's Friday afternoon for this guy. He's going to have a Saturday. He's going to have maybe a Sunday. And then we're going to come back to him. So in 24 hours time, we will check back, and then we'll go on to the next very exciting step. So I will see you then. So it's day 2. I'm wearing the same t-shirt as yesterday. No judgment. It is a different day. 24 hours has gone by. The chilies, they've been resting. They've been on this shelf. This is a, you know, well, it's not a pantry because it's a shelf, but it's where we keep food. The chilies have been resting. They've been relaxing. They've had time to get to know one another. Whoa! Oh, that was pretty dramatic. So let's take a look at our chilies in here. You can see there's some liquid on the bottom. That's from the salt drawing the moisture out of the chilies. So that's good. They look pretty good. They've started to ferment a little bit. They still smell really spicy. Oh, okay. That in a nice way, in a nice way. So what we have here is some white rice wine vinegar. You can kind of use any vinegar you want. I haven't really had any like bad experiences with using vinegar. I've used balsamic, I've used white wine, I've used rice wine, I've used red wine. You can kind of use whatever vinegar you want. If you make your own vinegars for using kombucha or whatever, that would be so cool. If you made your own, used your own homemade vinegar for your own homemade hot sauce, that would be like inception levels of homemadeness. It'd be like layers of homemade. Below the glass for the bottle, like that'd be, whoa! Design the label, that'd be huge. I didn't do that anyway, so this is just from my local Asian market on Drury Street in Dublin. So we're going to open this guy up now. Take off the little ring pull. Yeah. And basically what we're going to do is, yet again, it's not a weighing thing. We're just going to get vinegar in here. I probably should have taken off the top thing, but we're not going to do that. Fast forward this part. So we basically just want enough vinegar in here for these chilies to be covered. So if you want to come in here, this is oh, Jesus. Oh man, sorry about that. This is so they're covered. Now some would be like, Holly, they're not covered, you know, they're still popping up a little bit. Don't worry about it, okay? It's gonna be fine. What you're gonna want to do is get a little bit of clinger, bit of cling wrap, which I know, actually no, we're not going to use cling wrap. We have something else we're going to use, so just hold that thought, okay? Just forget about using cling film for everything, okay? Or saran wrap, or whatever you want to call it, okay? This is a really stunning, beautiful, reusable beeswax, reusable wrapper. This one was previously used for cheese, so I just gave it a little wipe there. And we're going to use this to press down on our chilies so they're all nice and submerged. Because you don't really want too many chilies like poking out of the top, because they could get a little bit moldy. Normally that doesn't actually happen. It's fine. This is great to use as well because you don't have to use a weight for this, because the beeswax is naturally like heavier than paper or cling wrap, and it just helps everybody stay nice and submerged. You can pop a little bit of liquid over there to keep everybody down, keep them all down. So this is what we're looking at now. So we have our container of chilies and vinegar, and we're going to cover it with just a cloth. Just kind of keep it covered, getting any foreign bodies falling in there, any flies going in there. This is where this guy's going to live now. Tea towel seems to work great. I like a tea towel. It's kind of breathable, but it's not too, we're not going down the very specific route of getting a, little airlock thing that releases air. It doesn't let any, forget about that, it's not necessary. So this guy's going to take another week's holidays, okay? I'm going to see him in 7 days time. Hopefully by then I would have changed my t-shirt. So let's see what happens in 7 days. And then 7 days time, we'll get blending, we'll get tasting, we'll get having some hot sauce. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. We said we'd be back here in a week to blitz the hot sauce. Hasn't been a week. It's been maybe 2 months. It's been a long time, okay? A lot of things have happened. I've gotten married. I've got a really gnarly burn on my hand. It's autumn now. Lots of things have happened, you know what I mean? Some of them were beyond my control. I could have just blitzed the hot sauce at any time, kept putting it off. But this is the lesson, because I want to show you what it's going to look like after like 2 months have passed. With this hot sauce, you can blitz it after a week and it'll be great. But if you leave it a little bit longer, the flavor will be much more intense. I'm going to show you here now. It doesn't go off, basically. So this is pretty much like what we had. The beeswax thing has covered the chilies. 1 or 2 have stuck to the beeswax, but it's fine. The chilies have now become very, very soft, but as you can see, there's still a good bit of liquid. I've actually topped this up once with a little bit of vinegar in the 2 months period, but there's no mold, there's nothing like that. It doesn't smell bad, just smells nice and spicy and kind of funky and vinegary, everything that ends with an E, basically, or a Y. That's what it smells like. So we're good to go. So literally the only thing we have left to do is blitz it. So this is definitely the easiest part of the whole, hot sauce making process. All we're doing now is blitzing it. What you're going to want to have ready to go is either some glass bottles. These are just juice bottles that I had. Just going to reuse them to make hot sauce. But glass bottles, if you have like glass jars, that would be great. I like to bottle them up in amounts that are easy for me to put like 1 in the fridge, and then you can have the rest room temperature on standby and have kind of 1 in the fridge that you're using all the time, or in small amounts that I can give to friends and family, people that might want to try some hot sauce, because it's as easy to make a huge batch of this as it is to make like a small batch, so you might as well make a decent amount every time you make it. So we're gonna blitz the chilies. So you just want to get your blender, whatever blender you want to use. A jug blender is ideal for this. We're literally just gonna pour everything, oh Jesus, in here. Oh God. Oh my God, it's so intense. It smells really, really intense. Just that you know, it smells super intense. Okay, so now we're just gonna like get the lid on this guy and try and recover from the intense, spicy, spicy fog? Spicy fragrance? I don't know. The spicy air. And we're just gonna literally crank it up on full. That's it. That's all we gotta do. So after this has been blitzing, I think I said 30 seconds earlier. After this has been blitzing for 1 minute, 2 minutes, it really depends on the strength of your blender. So I think this is about ready to go now. So we're gonna turn it off and bottle it up. That's perfect. So you can see it's this like really nice deep red color. It's after blitzing like nice and smooth because the chilies are so soft. That's another thing, like if you leave this after a week, it'll be fine. But you're going to find that if you leave it longer than a week, your chilies will soften up more and they're going to blitz like nice and smooth, and it's going to be just a little bit nicer. So if you can afford to leave it longer than a week, I would. Plan in advance. So what I normally do is I would use a funnel to bottle these up, but I don't really have one, or at least I don't know where it is. I just want to get a lid for this guy. So just pour it into a jug, and that'll do just as good a job as a funnel. That looks whopper. And there we have it. We got our little family of hot sauces. We got the little parents hot sauce. We got the little baby hot sauce. And yeah, so making your own hot sauce, it's extremely easy. Salt, vinegar, chilies, thyme, and a blender. That's all you need. You know, I used to buy a lot of sriracha. I mean, I still do. But it's so satisfying to be able to make your own hot sauce, and your friends and family will really appreciate it. Except for the ones that don't like spicy stuff. Maybe they won't be such big fans, but I'm a big fan of spicy, and this stuff is great. It's not crazy spicy, but it's really, really nice. Makes a great gift, but you know, it makes a great gift for yours truly as well. You look out for number one. Okay, you got it. Self-care. Make your own hot sauce. Get crafty. Get crafty this autumn. Make your own hot sauce. So yeah, leave a comment below if you like this video. Please subscribe. Slide into my DMs on Instagram. I'm at Holly Dalton Chef, and don't be afraid to mix it up. See you next time.